Asbury Park. It was...
They always say it's darkest right before dawn. So we've been through the darkest hour.
He wanted to create a barrier for the Methodist enclave of Ocean Grove found to the south of Asbury, from the excesses of the town to the north, Long Branch, whose wine, women, and gambling ways Bradley found wanton and depraved.
Over the years, as the big hotels started to come up,
from its very inception, Asbury Park has always been a tale of two cities, literally separated by a set of railroad tracks.
Everybody thought of Springwood Avenue as a jazz mecca on the shore. There was so much going on in my early days. They had the Elks, they had...
Since its very beginning as a Gilded Age getaway, Asbury Park has always provided a showcase for A-list talent and a spawning ground for new artists, with music being one of the only connectors reaching across the tracks between the east and west side of town. By 1968, Asbury boasted some 73 clubs, bars, and ballrooms featuring live music in a town of just 1 square mile.
Every place you went had music.
It was the beginning of something important, huh? Yeah, baby. It was the beginning of...
Because Tom Potter insisted that bands perform original material, the Upstage became a crucible for young talent, a late-night meeting place where the best musicians on the shore could connect and were encouraged to develop their own style rather than cover top 40 hits for the tourist crowd.
Just getting little snippets of history every time you turned around. The thing that you would never hear again would be on that stage, you know, or the proving ground, all-night atmosphere of the Upstage nurtured the young talent who would break out of Asbury Park and secure the town's place in musical history.
There was always rumors going around.
Crash on the 4th of July, 1970, when a tragic flaw in the very foundation of the town finally gave way and brought everything down with it.
And it wasn't the people who lived in our community, it was the people on the outside, coming from other cities. And
told them that what the young people were saying, the restlessness, there's nothing for them to do, no jobs.
Pulled out a Molotov cocktail, lit it, and threw it at a car that was passing by. It went from just
burning buildings, they're attacking places and people.
Heard glass break, grabbed the bar stools, locked the door behind me, and ran up and called the Asbury Park police. And
the Asbury Park Press reported that trouble had started at 11 p.m. and was out of control by 4 Sunday morning. Mayor Matisse ordered a state of emergency.
We heard helicopters, I guess it was National Guard going overhead. We heard gunshots.
You saw people breaking the windows, setting fires.
I can remember the very first time I was out and we were playing and we saw a big cloud of black smoke. And we were wondering, what is that? It's like the whole sky turned black. And of course, we didn't know that it was the riot.
Police Chief Tommy Smith reported the Asbury Fire Department was being stoned and attacked as they worked to fight the fires raging up and down Springwood Avenue.
We could go down there with the fire engine in a truck.
Police from 7 surrounding towns rushed to Asbury's aid as the trouble began to spread to Neptune with broken windows and a robbery at the Neptune Diner.
The heat from Bankers, the furniture store, you could feel it in front of the Upstage.
And the protesters presented a list of 22 demands to Mayor Matisse, including the removal of City Magistrate Eugene Capabianco. And then 100 New Jersey State Troopers joined the fray and shut it all down.
Troopers, making sure that...
and they had bricks and bottles and stuff, and as we were running, they were throwing over our heads at the oncoming police officers. As we were running along Springwood Avenue, the police were shooting. They were shooting, and we thought that they were shooting pellets. But a young man that was running with me got shot. He got hit in the leg with the .38. I borrowed a woman's petticoat. She ripped her slip, and I made a tourniquet out of that,
And the town of Asbury Park was started on a steep and destructive spiral, which would bring it over the course of the next several decades to a state of complete urban blight.
Not everybody on the west.
Down and the property values down was probably the main thing that.
From the train into Berkeley Carteret Hotel, and then he had the premiere across the street at the Paramount. I mean, it was good times.
We got the gig at the Stone Pony. And
That Empress Hotel found a way to move forward.
An open invitation to the community to come experience the potential of Asbury. The idea took hold, creating a spike in home purchases and the start of dramatically increasing home prices.
The beautiful Victorian houses and...
Even in the early morning hours, the soundtrack of Asbury Park dances in the air of the empty streets. It's the sound of dreams, musicians and singers honing their style in small apartments above the shops. Perched high above what had been a Tom McCann shoe store, the remains of the upstage clubs. Nowhere is that power stronger than at the Lake House, where kids who otherwise may. With help from the Asbury Music Foundation, the Lake House administers programs in Asbury Park.
Carry each other.